Welcome to your art class. I'm going to challenge you today on drawing a magical forest picture. And we're going to start with, in your yard, find a twig. This fell off my pear tree. So I went out this morning and it already has dead leaves on it from when it fell. But look at the shapes that I have on this thing. This is the same shape that the tree itself grows. So when you have just a little twig like this I've got lots of branches on it, I can turn this into a magical forest. And this gives me some idea rather than stick trees on the shapes that tree limbs really go. It has all these beautiful flowing lines and they turn around and come back and they have the stems coming further out. So when I start to draw something like this, I can actually hold it because this is not necessarily realistic. When I started doing this, I started looking at, you can see where I'm holding down there. This is going to be the trunk of my tree when I actually do it, and I'm going to put in a number of trees. So I started looking off on the branches where this one curved around, and I've started the drawing here. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to make this a little thicker down at the bottom. And I'm looking at what my trees are doing here, what my stem, but you see how I'm changing direction as I draw these? I'm looking at what my stems are doing, and I'm kind of wiggling my pencil around. You can do this with a crayon too if you want. I would say save your markers for the finishing part. So I'm going to come down and I'm looking at my tree. Again, it's only a stem, but it's a tree in this picture. So I'm going to add, and it's going to go right off the page. So that's my tree number 1, and I'm going to add a nice big knot hole so that I can put a face in there. This is going to be this is going to be my magical little forest picture. So if you want to look at something where I got this idea, I saw this is a Dr. Seuss illustration from a book that was in the Times, and when I see something like this, it instantly gives me an art idea for class. So this picture, you can look at the tree, you can see the stems that as this comes up, the artist could have done just what I'm doing right now with just a twig and made all of these wonderful overlapping trees in the background. So I'm going to take my tree, I don't know, this one is a little lighter, I drew this one at home, and I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trees in my thing. So here's tree number 1. Now this time I'm actually going to tilt my tree over, and I'm not going to draw all of them, and I'm going to have this one coming from another angle. So now, even though it's the same stem, I can make it look different because I'm tilting it a different way. So I have now, my tree can change shape because I've changed the angle I'm holding my twig. So I can come up here. So here's my tree number 2 is going to do this, and it's coming diagonal across the paper. So I've got, that's tree number 2. I'm going to take tree number 3 and maybe tilt it the other way. And so maybe this one's going to come from over here and go straight up. I'm going to use I don't have to use all of the stems. I can use just the parts I want. And then I can change them. That's the fun part of being an artist, is you can change what your tree, but I'm putting some behind. You see how I'm going behind the first tree. So I'm drawing behind it. I'm coming here behind this other limb, and I'm going to come down, and this tree is going to be just a single stem coming down, and then I'll come back here and add some more limbs coming off. Okay, so that's tree number 3, tree number 4. Maybe, again, this is going to be my front tree. This one's behind. Okay, I'm going to put a tree here. See, I'm looking at my composition and doing things behind. Everything, each tree I add is behind the one in the front. And my inspiration, again, is still my stem that's giving me neat angles to draw. So it's helping me figure out what direction my stems are going to go. So here I've got this one coming up. Now this one's going behind again. The reason we're doing this gets fun when you start to use your colors and your markers going behind each one of these as you draw. So 1, 2, 3, 4. One more tree. Okay, how about a tree right here? This tree can be pretty much the whole stem coming up way up here. I'm not going to get a whole lot of branches on him. I'm going to have it all go behind, and then just right up here near the top, I'm going to have that branch going off. And again, you see how I'm looking at my stem, and I'm going to have this one going off over here, just a little crooked. So you only are seeing that one as a little bit plainer one. So that's kind of a nice straight tree. So now when I start to look at my picture, I've got these neat trees. I'm going to go ahead and put some more stems. Let me see. I can put some more faces in here so I can turn these around. This will be a happy one. So I can put those all over my thing. So I can put one down here, and I can put a little face. So when I start to have fun with this is where maybe I'm going to do different designs on each one. So, and we're going to do with patterns. So again, that's where we get into colors and patterns. You can see on the tree. So here I started one. I can come back and put on this tree these zigzag stripes, and I can change colors with my markers or my crayons and have a lot of fun. Don't hurry this project. If you work on it for a while and put it down and have lunch or dinner and come back and work on it the next day, give yourself plenty of time to really have fun with what you're going to do with your magical forest. So you can see this is all one tree. I'm going to change colors on each tree so I can really see where they're going. You can see on this one I've put a great big, I haven't decided yet if that's going to be a sun or a moon. It could end up being a moon. So this tree is going to be my one that's going to be red and maybe orange as I start filling in my zigzags. And then maybe the next tree might be one I'm going to do in polka dots and maybe stripes, and I'm going to change the colors here so I can come back with another color and I can make fun things. So each one of my trees, you can see where I'm going to stop under and over. So there goes one on top. So I can come back and do this. So you see what you can come up with this project. And again, take your time on planning all your fun things. When you get your trees done, you can come back and add fun flowers and shapes in there, but you're going to want to remember to contrast. So make sure when you do the color in your background that you can either change your shapes or your color schemes. So the colors you use on top, you don't want to use in your background. So you want to be able to see your tree limbs coming in. So this is a good choice by this artist of using the blues in the backgrounds behind the trees. And that way you really see what's happening with your tree trunks. You have fun with this project. Surprise me with what you are actually doing with this class. Have fun.